everybody, it's Amalia, and I'm here today with the October 2021 Show Us Your Sheet Load. Every month, Alicia from Call Me Crafty Al publishes a sketch and supply list so that you can make a sheet load of cards out of some 12 by 12 paper. Occasionally, she uses a template for 6 by 6 paper, and sometimes the cards are for A2 size like these are, and sometimes the cards are for slimline or mini slimline cards. So if you don't know about the sheet load yet, definitely take a look in the description bar below, and you can see what the sheet load is all about. So I used the template this month to make a set of 10 cards. And if you've been following along with my sheet load series, this is the second paper pad that I've been going through. I intend on going through this entire Wild Saffron paper pad from K & Company until it is completely done. And in terms of this set of cards, I've used this sheet, which is front and back design, lovely paper from K & Company. And again, I made a set of 10 cards with this. Let me show you all the supplies that I used to create this set. First of all, I have some recollections of vellum paper that I used. This is a really thin style paper. It's not good for much else other than cutting into shapes. As an example, I tried making some envelopes out of it, some vellum envelopes, and the paper tore very easily. So you can stamp on it, you can cut some shapes. I wouldn't make a card base out of it or envelopes out of it, but there's plenty of vellum out there that you can use to do that with. But this is a great, inexpensive resource for some vellum sheets. This was from Michael's. And so the vellum is the backer for this central element right here. Now, the image that I used is from Stampin' Up! Perfect Blend. This is an old stamp set from, it doesn't say what year, but that's okay. That's an old set. And I used, for the background on the sheet, she uses paper that's basically cut into a strip and folded. But I decided to go with some ribbon on my card. And this is a beautiful Stampin' Up! Grosgrain style ribbon. The color is called Chocolate Chip. It's also an old color. I don't think they make this color. They don't make this color anymore, that's for sure. But it's gorgeous grosgrain style ribbon. And it does add a little bit of bulk to the card. Plus, I popped this up on some foam. So it's a little bit more dimensional than just using paper. Those the ribbon. I also used some chocolate chip paper in the background, and I embossed it with a brick wall embossing folder from Sizzix. So just a little added extra texture and feature to the card. Here's the chocolate paper that I used. And for the card, I used this Stampin' Up! Naturals Ivy paper. It's got lots of, it's smooth, but it's got texture in the paper. It's a natural ivory, so it's a really interesting look to it. It's not really something you can see, but it adds sort of like a grunge effect, I guess, to the whole look of all of these cards. And the design, you're actually meant to tear the paper and add the elements to your very first mat right there. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I felt a little weird about tearing the paper. I really did. But I went through with it and I did all of them and it looks great. And I'm really happy with the way they turned out. What I did to sort of embellish the coffee cups, I just stamped them out on top of the natural ivory paper and using some Memento ink. It doesn't really matter what type of ink that you use, just a simple black ink, or you could use a brown ink. But then I took the paper or some of the scraps of paper, and I stamped out also on the design paper. And then I just cut those pieces out to create the coffee sleeve. I think it adds just that much more of an interest to that element. And you don't have to color it in. I think it would have looked weird if I colored it in some way or shaded it in any way because, you know, the drawn style of the cup is very sketchy looking. And so coloring it in would have been just something that I don't think would have necessarily worked. But using the paper as the sleeve, I think adds a nice touch. And of course, I use the sentiment from that set. It says, "Coffee and friends are the perfect blend." So this has been a great sheet load to play with. And I highly recommend that you go ahead and take a look in the description bar below. I used some different ribbon here. This is just this plain satin ribbon. So the satin ribbon and the grosgrain ribbon. I always do something a little bit different. I decided to use the satin ribbon here because I had a little bit left on my roll and then I ran out and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? And then I just grabbed my other grosgrain ribbon to finish off that element. And yeah, so take a look in the description bar below. You'll see not only the link where to get the sheet load so that you can work on your own projects, but you'll also see the other people on the collab team. And you can click on their links to take a look at their video and how they worked on the sheet load. And thank you so much for stopping by, folks. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps. Click thumbs up because that helps too. And let me know by leaving a comment below what you think of these cards. I am so happy with the way they turned out. I had another great sheet load of cards, and I hope you enjoyed this one too. Thanks, everybody. Bye.